You want the best for your child. K-12 can help them gain the skills they need to reach their full potential while giving you the support you need to get them there. K-12-powered schools are tuition-free, accredited online public schools for students in kindergarten through 12th grade. Their state-certified teachers make online learning interactive and engaging, allowing your child to learn at their pace from the safety of home. Join the more than 3 million families who've chosen K-12. Go to k12.com/podcast today to learn more. That's k12.com/podcast.
Omaha Steaks makes it easy to keep great food on hand, so dinner time is simple and convenient. And right now, you can get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life when you shop at omahasteaks.com/onrepeat. Only Omaha Steaks gives you the freedom to set your menu your way with no commitments. Choose extra aged, hand-carved steaks, plump and juicy air-chilled chicken, and so much more. Order once or set up recurring shipments for more savings, more convenience, and inflation-proof pricing. Want to change your menu? No problem. Swap items, skip a shipment, or cancel at any time with no questions asked. You're in control to get what you want when you want it, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. At Omaha Steaks, it's all about you. Visit omahasteaks.com/onrepeat to sign up for recurring shipments and get 12 free burgers, a $431 per year value, and free shipping for life. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.
Welcome to Critical Hit, your Spoilers podcast. Thank you so much for downloading and checking us out this week. We are back into it. We've repaired our ship. We're flying off into the stars, Kevin, and we've set a course for adventure.
No, so you guys are flying off, avoiding the authorities in a totally legit way, and you had just recently successfully fixed all the sabotage from the ship, from Talos. So, I think what your plan was to, find out where the race was and then start racing. At least that's where I think we left off last time.
On Critical Hit.
Critical Hit.
Here on Critical Hit.
I was muted.
Hey, look, everybody. There's Rodrigo. Hi, Rodrigo.
Hey, it's not as easy as you think it is it, Mr. Man?
Yeah, no, it's tough.
Yeah, you got to unmute and then you got to talk. And by that time, Rob's already done.
No.
All right. So, yeah, you guys, the crew of the Squeaky Clean had some excitement last time getting the ship under control. God, got me again.
You got to be careful, man. You got to be careful.
Just give him your stern look and he'll be quiet.
Yeah. I'll give you the silent treatment. But no, you guys were going to the Armada to lay low temporarily while the authorities pass by. And the ship is now in good repair. Squeebo is back to normal size. There's totally a normal crate in Amu's personal chambers. Everything is fine.
There is a normal crate in Amu's personal chambers.
That sure is a
There's
perfectly
also a
normal
not
crate.
so normal crate.
God, didn't ask about that.
Question, everyone. Where do we need to go?
Oh, yeah, we need to figure out where we're supposed to go.
Perhaps we could find some way to trace where Team Rust Bucket had gone previously.
Quentin, do you have
Rust
anything?
Dragon, but that's not a bad idea.
Quentin, do you have anything? Do you have an itinerary from the event people, since you're kind of working with them or the liaison with them?
Accessing. I apologize. I am not programmed with that information at this time.
Well, see if you can get in touch with Crystal and see if she knows. And I'll try and hit some other sources of information.
Contacting Crystal.
Do we know of any of the other contestants in this game?
Sure.
I mean, we know plenty of the teams, but they're, competition.
Yes, but I wanted to see if they've already left as well.
I mean, they wouldn't necessarily be taking off from here.
Yeah.
But, if
We-
you want to take the initiative and check some manifests.
Sure. They might not all be going to the same place is another thing. So fans of the show Drifters know that there are lots of little sub rounds because they cannot they don't have every team participating in every environment. So it is likely that you're not going to be, for instance, up against Team Electrum your first time out. You'll be up against some subset of teams. So different teams might go to different locations.
Okay. Grace, do you happen to know where we're supposed to be headed to?
I do not. I'm sorry, but maybe Rain. I think you'd said previously that she was investigating it for you. We could reach out to her.
Sure. Can you open a communications to her?
All right. Looks like communications are blocked. I can leave a message.
That would be great. Who's blocking?
I don't
Did
know.
we turn off the blocker?
No, not our communications. On Rain's end.
She's busy. Sure, leave a message. Tell her it's Bob. Okay, open up the internal comms back to Hecubino. Hecubino, Rain appears to be busy at the moment. She's got her comms shut down or blocked or offline at the moment.
Yeah, let me see if I can scrounge up anything else. I'll try and check the...
By chance, was there a welcome packet in your quarters?
I don't know. Which ones are my quarters?
So that is a good thing to bring up. There are 6 passenger quarters. There's 2 on the port, 2 on the starboard, and 2 in the rear. I don't remember what that's called on a ship. Aft?
Aft sounds right.
That sounds correct.
And there's an upper and a lower quarters for each of them. It just reflects whether you take like a little couple stairs down into the quarter or a couple stairs up. It also means that you all have a neighbor who is either above you or below you. So you guys are trying to reach out through various channels. You're trying to scour, the infosphere, or whether you've all received like little notices or something like that. You're asking around contacts, maybe doing a search to see if you can find Team Rust Dragon's ship and trace things that way. But you do seem to have a little bit of time on your hands, so now would be a good time to get your personal effects in order. Get the ship livable since you're going to be here for a while.
Right.
So why don't we go through you guys one by one, and you can tell me where in the ship you have your quarters and what your quarters are like.
Are the quarters all the same size?
Roughly. They're all kind of basic, blocky. They've got metal sheets as their roofs. They all have like little portholes out into space that you can look out, and they all have bunk beds built into them. That is to say, just one bed, but built in. And then the rest of it is really up to what you've. There's basic sheets and things like that are serviceable for many types of creatures, but what you bring to it is what will define the quarters. Let's start with Amu, because you already have something interesting in your quarters. I also think that Rikrichi might have unusual personal quarters.
So Amu's bed has been converted into a terrarium where Amu can get out of his shell. Otherwise, the room is currently not particularly unpacked, as Amu has decided to turn about 3/4 of it into a crab pen.
So it seems like the Crate Fiend likes to have like a space off on its own where it can go about unobserved.
So yeah, there'll be one of the corners will just be all of the crates with Amu's personal effects stacked up to the ceiling.
Nice.
Where it looks like a third of the room is just not there. And then some more crates are stacked to cut off most of the rest of the room away from that where our new pet can chill out unimpeded.
Nice. So you've set up a nice little area for the Crate Fiend. Have you come up with a name for it yet?
Not yet.
All right. Well, consider. What other personal effects does Amu have? Does he have like a special desk that he sets up for doing mad science? Does he have particular types of clothing he wears? Is his room set to 110 degrees and ultra humid, and it has like fungi growing on it?
The room is ultra humid. The fungi will only be growing in the terrarium. There's a heat lamp above the terrarium to keep that specific area highly heated, but the rest of the room is actually relatively sparse, as most of the mad science is done via the med lab, which when Amu is out of the shell can be unfolded to use as an actual medical desk for experimentation and creation.
You just use every part of the buffalo that is you.
Yes.
Nice. Great. That sounds good. All right. Who wants to go next?
Quentin will go next.
All right, Quentin. What are your quarters like?
Quentin's quarters are going to look exactly as they did when Quentin moved in, except for 3 major changes. 1, atop whatever flat surface one can find, there will be a small charging unit into which Quentin can plug himself and take whatever nutrition and or electrical power that he needs. So that may be sitting on the bed itself. That's probably sitting on the bed. It's not particularly large, but it's basically a cradle unit that he plugs into, like, your iPhone. And secondly, as many screens as possible will be displayed on the wall areas. If it's possible to do holographic displays of as many screens and as many incoming streams as possible, that would be awesome, to where he's actually able to see multiple channels. He's able to see, live feeds of the drifters or the actual broadcast, as well as, news feeds and things from the infosphere, whatever you need.
That's awesome. So right now you have to settle for actual screen displays, but that seems like a good use of any credits you could upgrade.
Absolutely. I have like 107 credits.
Yeah, but you want those good holographic projectors.
Did I say 107? I meant 107,000 credits.
All right, so you've got a charging station. The room is covered in screens so that you can simul watch lots of drifters and all other types of media. And what was the third thing?
The third thing is a large potted plant. It looks as though it used to be a flowering plant, but somehow it's turned into like a weird giant viney plant where runners just keep splitting off and growing in weird different directions. And it's way, way, way too large for the pot that it's in. But for whatever reason, it is there and it's huge. And there are basically little sticks and wires and paper clips and things trying to hold each one of the various runners around. So whatever and wherever this weird plant wants to grow in any direction, it's clear that Quentin is trying to make sure that it can continue growing, even though it's too big for the pot. And for some reason, it's just this weird vine thing.
So I have a cross between help me out, the Japanese trees, the small ones,
bonsais.
The bonsai.
Yeah. I have a
half bonsai and half
bonsai
kudzu.
garden and Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes. That's exactly what it is. And it's just growing all over the place and doing weird things and has limbs and vines. And you'll see one vine that splits off into 4 other vines, and each vine is trying to grow. And maybe there's not enough water, but it's fine because it's, it's doing its thing.
Then I also see Quentin come up to him, and like one of his little compartments opens and a little, rod sticks out and spritzes it with some water.
Yep. Occasionally a little tiny pair of scissors just to clip off any parts or any dead leaves and such.
Awesome. All right. I think I heard Rodrigo there. So what do Hecubino's quarters look like?
Hecubino will set up he'll set up his bed type area in such a way that basically Quentin can stand comfortably in the opposite corner, and he can sit on his bed, and it will look like a natural shot. He might like he'll even like kind of measure it and put like a little spike down, like an X, to for like the optimal place for Quentin to hover. And then
Camera
he will
positioning.
also set up he probably doesn't have like a full on like triptych mirror, but he probably has a bunch of smaller mirrors that he like jury rigs together. And basically, if there's like a desk area, he's kind of turned the desk into his like makeup area. If he has like a couple posters, he will like again sort of place them strategically so that they're in the shot. That's
Yeah, I
pretty
definitely
much
think
it.
you have a
If
couple
you
of
if you
posters.
walk into the room, like there are areas that seem weirdly decorated and others that aren't, because he's just focusing on the ones that are going to be in shots.
So that's funny because I imagine, where like let's say you're leaning up against your desk or by a bed or something like that, the areas around you and behind you might have your cool posters and stuff like that. Whereas if we pivot the camera and see from Hecubino's eyes, there's just like an expanse of gray metal.
Yeah, just nothing there. And so it's probably like an arc so that Quentin can stand in one place and get Hecubino like either on his bed or sitting in the mirror, or even do a shot of Hecubino through the mirror, and then whatever's behind him will be something. But yeah, if he was like to start at like literally the opposite side and get him through the mirror, there'd be nothing.
Metaphor for the emptiness of the pursuit of celebrity.
Yeah. Well, there's a bit of a method there too. Like aside, like Hecubino doesn't spend a lot of time talking about, the pursuit of psionic power, but he does need to like concentrate and like prepare, and actually having blank walls helps with that. So it does help a little bit, but it's mostly the other thing.
Deeper than he looks.
Yep.
Cool. Great. Who wants to go next?
I'll go, because Vangia will probably pick the room next to Hecubino.
Above
and then
or below?
I assume go in, take a look at like the cot that's actually there, sigh, go into Quentin's room and be like, you don't sleep, right? Or don't sleep on a bed. Just give me that.
That is correct.
And just grab his bed, like
You're
the bed that was
welcome.
there when the room started.
Yep.
And then
You
go
take
and put
the
it in so
mattress
that-
off the little shelf that the bunks are built into. Yep.
and then go and cobble together a bed that is big enough for her, because presumably these things are not meant for desk dimensions.
I just love that image. Oh, you won't need that, right? Great, thanks.
Yep, exactly. And yeah, so she probably likes, and so that's trying to make use of space efficiently as possible, but also takes like really good care of her weapons and armor, and start like sets them up so that they are not like she's not gonna accidentally kick them or anything like that in her sleep, and that like a door isn't gonna set something off, or and then also tries to like, if there's possible room to set up something like a little bit of a workout space in there for herself, so that she can like do any type of morning workout before actually like showing up. But it's possible that she starts almost immediately starting to colonize other areas of the ship for her space, if her room is too small.
Yeah, I mean, you can have a few things for body weight exercises and things like that you could do in your quarters. But yeah, if you want like to set up like an actual weight bench, you might want to do that in like the cargo bay. If you need more aerobic activities, you're going to probably want to, like, you don't have a treadmill or anything like that, so you're going to need to be moving throughout the ship.
All right, then she's basically she'll set up her room in a fairly basic fashion, like imagine like bed, pile of blankets, but like in a kind of like pretty actually surprisingly like efficient, in terms of like the corners are all very tight, it's all like very neatly made, probably very few personal effects, but except for like very pragmatic stuff that her gear that seems to like all be placed strategically so she could like grab it at a moment's notice, and then she starts just colonizing the ship and creating one of those, like, you ever go through a park where there's like almost kind of like, it's not really an obstacle course, but it's like, at certain points there's like a place for you to like do chin-ups and like, or to like to stretch in certain places, and basically like setting up like a whole thing around the ship, also probably with something of an eye to how it would look on camera.
So you can, emerge from the ducts and tubes, from doing your like army crawl, and then you leap up and you're at the chin up bar, and then you sit down and you're in the weapons bay.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we will be running into little obstacles that Vangie has set up throughout the ship. You guys can all thank her for that.
Thank you,
Smart.
Vangie.
That's smart.
Morning exercises start at 6 sharp. If you want to join me, you're more than welcome.
Bob or Skritic?
I could go.
All right,
I'd
go for
say
it.
Skritic largely has set up a pretty Spartan room so far. Would have taken pretty much the lowest quarter, lowest deck quarters available. For the most part, he just has his backpack packed and ready to go at the foot of his bed, and at the head of the bed, he's got the crate with his pistol and knife cleaned and ready, should need be, and he's got a drawer that he's got with a couple of food things he managed to not eat at the dinner, kind of stashed away. He's got a stool or a chair that he's largely using as an armor rack, airing out his beast hide armor.
I'm getting a low-key prepper vibe.
Pretty much.
Cool. No, I mean, you're very again, pragmatic and on the ball, but not. Is there anything particularly personal that Skritic has out, or is it mostly, him kind of hunkering in?
Right now, he's just hunkering in, nothing personal out. Like I say, for the most part, he still has everything packed up in his backpack, ready to grab and go if need be when ready.
Okay. And last but not least, Bob.
All right. Bob's quarters are super, super sparse. There are really only 7 things that we can see in the room, maybe 8. I'm guessing on the bunk, there's kind of like a built-in shelf.
That's right.
Okay. There are 4 books on the shelf. The first book is You've Unlocked Your Emotions. Now What? By Harold A. Logan. Then there's Your Emotions and You, A Practical Guide by Janice Goodman. Making Friends and Enemies in These Tough Times by Dale R. Robbins. And 1 Million Credits in the Bank by Michael Salvo. Right next to that is a little counter. You may have seen these things that people use them for their social media, numbers, how many people are following them, etc. There's a little credit counter right next to the books that currently says 4,215.
Yes!
On the floor,
I think I know what that is.
On the floor is a knapsack, and then there's also on the desk, there's a data pad that's always constantly displaying all the diagnostics of the ship in real time. And then on one of the walls, probably the wall right next to the door, right at eye height, there's a small round mirror mounted at Bob's eye height that he uses for meditation. And that is all that is in Bob's room.
All right. So yeah, pretty sparse, pretty Spartan. But and actually one final thing on this. Pick your neighbor, because keep in mind you're either somebody's upstairs neighbor or downstairs neighbor, based on whether you're an upper or lower deck.
Downstairs.
Whichever one is closest to the pilot seat.
It's probably 6 to 1, half dozen the other between the port and starboard wings.
Upper starboard.
Upper starboard. Okay.
I'll go with downstairs of Hecubino.
Quentin will be upstairs of Amu.
Yeah, we'll be in the back.
All right. So you guys are downstairs aft for Vangie, upstairs aft for Hecubino. Skritic, you're a downstairs person yourself, right?
Yeah. I'd take
And-
lower quarter.
Do you care about starboard or port?
Nope. Whatever's open.
Then you will be downstairs, starboard, below Bob. Quentin, you said downstairs?
Upstairs. Above
Quentin's
Amu.
upstairs. And Amu, you want to be downstairs?
Amu has had the experience of his terrarium leaking and understands that others are not appreciative.
All right. So Amu and Quentin, you guys are neighbors. Vangi and Hecubino, you guys are neighbors. And Bob and Skritic, you guys are neighbors. So you will run into each other slightly more often throughout the ship.
Quentin
But we
presumes that if there are any unpleasant smells from a room full of terrarium, it will be less problematic for him.
Sure. Yeah, you guys can determine what habits you have, like whether you're playing, Kasathan drum trance music all night or something like that.
Oh, I'm definitely playing Kasavan trance music. No, wait.
Okay, cool. So you get yourselves situated while Grace is scanning for the Rust Dragon, and you're waiting to hear back from Rain. Grace reports that the Rust Dragon, the Team Rust Dragon's ship, left space dock, but it left under thrusters, not under drift engine, which indicates that it's likely headed somewhere in the Pact World system, but they did take evasive maneuvers and seem to go through the Armada, much like we did, to lose any would-be trackers.
Hmm.
And as you guys congregate, by the way, there's kind of a central kitchen dining room area in towards the center of the ship. That is an easy place for the six of you to gather when there's nothing particular going on. And the Grace has things on autopilot since you're not really doing anything right now.
Okay.
Then at that point, you get a private message from Rain. Hey, so you guys aren't where I left you.
Nope. We had. You remember those guys that got into our ship? They left some malware, so we had to clear that out and then make a bit of an exit.
I accidentally shot. Well, not so much accidentally. I had to shoot 2 missiles to keep from blowing something up.
Well, I got something to drop off here, so you're going to need to dock somewhere.
Back to Absalon Station?
Yep.
All right, well, let's go.
Let me know where you've docked, and I'll meet you there. Let you know what I found out. Okay. So you guys find a different dock and settle up with the docking fees and alert Rain as where you are.
Yep.
Cool. When she, pings your comm links that she's nearby, and to open the hangar bay doors, as you do so, you hear the rumbling sound of a vehicle engine, an old school engine running on petrol, and it rumbles into the room. It is a high mobility, multi-purpose wheeled vehicle with a very wide base and a steel frame and enormous tires made of some super durable polymer with thick treads in them. And it has an open top, and it kind of looks like a really wide, durable dune buggy.
Internal combustion. How amusing.
And Rain is driving it, and she drives it into the cargo bay.
Ooh, sweet ride.
Yeah, this is a classic.
Yep, you'll be needing it.
I take it this is our on-world transportation?
For this world, yeah.
Oh?
Well, you can keep it if it survives, but different worlds might require different transportation. Why don't you seal up the bay there, and I'll tell you what I know.
Quentin closes the doors.
I'll get some hooks out and secure the buggy.
I will help.
Yeah, and it probably needs real brake things and stuff like that, so it doesn't move around or get jostled in space flight. But yeah,
Yep.
I'll double check
Rain-
and make sure the parking brake is on.
Yeah,
I'll do any heavy lifting required to secure it.
Rain hops out after parking it and lets you guys do some of the miscellaneous stuff, and then is ready to debrief you in the cargo bay. So I found out where you guys are headed.
All right.
Where are we headed?
It's gonna be Akaton, the red planet.
All right.
Nice. Home team advantage.
So
For those of us who may not be familiar with Akaton, what do we know about it?
why don't you
It's where
make
they're
a culture check? Culture check? Yeah, I think culture is the most appropriate.
And I rolled whatever I rolled. The window closed.
20.
A 20.
Hey, pretty good. So Akaton is, and if anybody else wants, you can roll as well. Although people can also tell you, communicate. So Akaton is the third planet from the sun in the Pact World system. It would be fourth if you counted Absalon Station, where Galarian once was. And it is known as the Red Planet because of its red-orange, iron-rich soil. So obviously think of something like Starfinder's Mars. And it has low gravity, a thin atmosphere, and supports, it's kind of a barren desert world. Not lifeless. There's plenty of life on that, but think cacti, shrubs, dust storms are really common there, stuff like that. It used to be the site of a big mining operation for a mineral called Thasteron, which powered pre-drift space flight. But ever since drift engines came about, the market for that plummeted, and the planet is a abandoned, desolate wasteland filled with junk heaps, and there's also gladiator arenas and massive Yusoki warrens where they trade all sorts of things, and there's an enclave of contemplatives there as well.
Oh, that Akaton.
Any idea where we're supposed to start?
They'll keep that under wraps so that we can't scout the course before it's underway. We'll get that as a last minute thing. Why don't Hecubino and Vangi give me another culture check as well? Actually, anyone can, but I'll give you guys a +2 bonus. Vangi and Hecubino.
Sweet.
Ugh. I did poorly.
Gotta watch more Infosphere.
I'm trying. I have 57 screens.
Oh, dang. Nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
So, Akaton has actually been on the show Drifters before. Brian, I imagine this might be Skritic's, what episode he's seen?
You've only seen one episode, but this is the one you've seen.
I hate that. Every time you tune in to a show that you haven't seen, it's always the same episode.
Yes.
So, you remember, there was a crew of Shirin that were ripped apart by Giralon, these 4-armed ape creatures, on the surface of Akaton.
Yeah, let them know that.
Yeah, so pretty much a blighted wasteland. If you're not used to low gravity, it's gonna make you feel giddy at first, but it can throw things off too. Air's a bit thin, so we're packing a little extra oxygen in case you need it. Then everything else will be up to the course. Physical terrain, no flight enabled. You're going to have to drive from place to place, hence the buggy.
Worst places to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also have the skinny on your competitors.
Ooh.
Well, we got 3 of them total. 4 4-team pod. So first might not be a big surprise, but it's the new team Rust Dragon.
Right.
So you guys know them. You know their strengths and weaknesses, although I guess less so now that they've reformed.
Rebuilt.
Next one is Team Hive Mind. This is an all-Formian team. You know, the, I don't know what to call them, but ant people?
Ants? Yeah.
Yeah. But they're backed by that interdimensional social network, Hive Mind.
Deep pockets, I hear.
Very deep. So you can expect state-of-the-art Formian tech. The one thing
Obviously
that they...
good teamwork.
Yeah, excellent teamwork. They're all going to work in sync. The drones and warriors are pretty much fearless, but they're not always the most creative. They kind of operate with a single purpose.
Makes sense.
And then there's one that I have very little information about, but again, they seem to have a lot of credits backing them. And I objected to this, but the marketing said that it could establish a little rivalry, so they were fine with it. But it's called Team Brainpower, and
Really?
it's a contemplative Sheeran and a Trox.
Oh, so all psychic?
Well, I don't know, but their logo is a giant brain.
All right. Is this too advanced or just one of us?
Oh, so you'll get an award for finishing first. They'll announce that at the beginning. And then anyone who doesn't survive, obviously doesn't make it out, period. And then whoever comes in last is eliminated. So as many as 3 of you could advance.
Okay.
But they don't like to have a event where that happens.
Of course. What do you think? I could check in with the coach when we land and see if he's got any skinny?
Yeah. I mean, unless it's going to be far from our old stomping grounds, there's probably a lot of information that we can get when we get there.
They might jam your signals when you arrive, is the only thing. Because they're not going to want you to communicate with the outside world. Now, after the race is done, we should have some time.
Fair enough. We could do that.
All right. And of course, being as, they're not going to give us much time to prep, you are supposed to be there in 30 hours.
All right. Well, let's plot a course and everyone get a good night's sleep.
Okay. Grace.
All right.
Can you begin preparations to plot a course to Akaton, the Red Planet?
All right. Well, let me off first. I'm not coming with you.
Oh, okay. Well, she's just prepping. We're not going to take you yet.
But if you have any questions, comlink me. They'll jam me out too. I won't be able to advise you during the race. So if you need anything, there's some supplies that I thought might be useful in the buggy. I leave it to you to adorn it. One thing you're gonna have to keep in mind: there's always really two contests going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's the race, which you can't afford to lose, and you can't afford to be blown up. But then there's also the race for people's hearts. So if you're just bland and effective, people don't tend to like that. That means lower viewership. That means fewer likes. That means you're not going to get as many upgrades. That means eventually they're going to try to write you off.
Right.
So you need to build your brand.
A tree is known by its fruit.
What now?
Exactly.
Confusing aphorisms. Okay, that could be a branding strategy, I suppose. All right, pretty tired, so I'm going to leave you guys to it. Link me if you have any questions.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Bye.
She, her Lashunta antenna twitch in your direction. She just kind of waves. She trods off the ship. She looks a little run down, a little tired.
She looks tired and run down.
She's world weary.
Oh.
Which world?
All of them.
Yeah.
Once she's out of earshot and there's no way that she can hear it, you will hear Quentin say, I question her motives.
Yep, that tracks.
Why?
She's helping us.
But why?
Because she wants us to do her a favor and figure out who's getting killed.
Yeah. Also, as our contact, she gets some amount of money plus potentially the sponsorships could expand to her.
Yeah, if she gets like known for coach of up and coming drifters, she could get even better up and coming drifters.
But she has self-identified that she does not trust the competition. Therefore, it seems illogical for her to attempt to win a competition that she does not trust.
Well, she
I
wants us to
question her
get to the
motivation.
bottom of it. That doesn't mean she doesn't want to also win it.
That's the ideal. We have to do. We're probably gonna have to do pretty well in order to become the bait to actually like them to try to mess with us as the second place winners. So it kind of has to be both. If we get knocked out too early, then we're useless for the investigation.
Either way, it's fine to keep a healthy amount of distrust. So if you distrust her, and I'll like slap his little orb, or like if you distrust her, that's some amount of brain power that I don't have to devote to distrust her. So go for it.
Quentin's little emoji face gets a raised eyebrow for a second. He sort of pivots a bit and says, a wise man always knows the side on which his bread is buttered.
Bob goes over to the vehicle and looks to see what Rain has left for us.
So there's little breather masks that probably have the extra oxygen she mentioned, and a couple. There's one that's just like a weird tank that you think maybe Quentin could install, and then there's a tarp covering lots of supplies for basically maintenance on this machine, extra things of petrol. And it looks like some gear that would be appropriate on a planet that has horrible sandstorms. So goggles and dust-colored cloaks or sandy cloaks.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
Polished shell.
Sandy cloak. Eyewitness News.
Okay, Grace, I believe we're ready to depart.
Also on the buggy, there's a big, you'd say it's a weapons mount, but there's nothing connected to it. It's just like a big box, but it looks locked and like you can't have easy access to it. You might be able to pry it off, but it otherwise seems to be just welded on to the back of the buggy in the place where a weapon would be mounted. Which people who are familiar with drifters know that the weapons don't start enabled. So it's possible that this will be, the box will burst open at some point when weapons are unlocked.
Dramatic. Vengu will
Weapons unlocked. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Boom.
Look around and be like, wonder what's in there. I'm super excited.
Well, unless it's something that we have to plug someone into, you can probably have first crack at it.
Yes. Then she'll look at everyone else and be like, all right, so Hecubino and I, we got our thing. You guys should work on your personas. Figure out how you want to introduce yourselves to the world.
Hi, I'm Bob Newman.
Hello, we are Amu.
All right. So you're gonna go with super weird, and you're gonna go with the audience stand-in new to this, and you're the super upbeat aphorism guy.
Yeah, although they'll rarely actually see Quentin.
Oh yeah, right, because he's the camera. Fair enough. Critic, what's your deal?
Me?
Yeah, you.
I'm just trying to keep us alive, or best case scenario, me.
Tough
I like that.
pragmatist.
Yeah, no, that's
I like
good.
it. That's great.
See, I point at I look at Amu and Bob's see, that's what we're talking about.
Hi, I'm Bob. I'm trying to pay my way out of servitude to my home planet.
All right. Yeah, that's something we can work with that.
The best case scenario was only him surviving.
Yes.
And Bob, I hope I also survive.
So that gets you thinking, what's his deal? What is he up to? Right? If the audience starts asking questions, then they'll be interested. That means they're interested.
Yeah, that means they'll tune in next week. That
Yeah.
means that they'll try to like make sure that we do survive to the next episode.
I mean, I don't know that a lot of people know what Rakrichi are, so we've got a lot of latitude to work with, but we'll figure something out.
Okay.
Maybe we can get a good shot of you like eating a bone or something.
In all likelihood, our issue will not be so much branding as coherence of branding, as each of us is relatively memorable in his or her own way.
I mean, the ensemble, it can work. It can work.
Yeah, that's more of clothing, and we'll work on some catchphrases and team cheers and stuff like that. But there's like all 4-man teams, obviously. There's like all Sheeran teams. So there's other teams are going to be a lot better about seeming cohesive and on brand at all times. So we are going more for the pop band model.
Yeah, like Team Rust Dragon seems to be going pretty eclectic too. So
yeah,
I believe in this
worked out pretty
context,
well
I
in the
would be
last fight.
the cute one.
The cute one, yeah. Well, except for that you'll be on camera, so Hecubina is really the cute one.
Hecubina smiles.
Oh, burn! Is that what I'm supposed to say there?
That wasn't bad.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
If you want to be the like sassy backup,
I think you're all
obviously the
cute.
strong one.
Chimes
Oh.
in Grace.
Thanks.
Like little
Weird, but
baby
thanks.
chicks.
Okay, good to know. Bob, you did give the ship's computer a good once over.
Yes, I did.
Okay, that's good.
Grace should be having our plot in place now, and we should be leaving the docks any second, Grace.
Oh, I just didn't want to interrupt. But okay, plotting course now.
Thank you, Grace.
Maybe you should go take the helm.
Yes. Do I call you a captain? What do I call you?
I think Vangy and me would be like co-team captains.
Okay, co-team captain. And I leave the room.
Okay.
Cool. So
Can we still
you
call
guys,
you Hecubino?
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
and then turning to Hecubino is the slime monster you didn't realize was in the room, and it turns to you and says, "Squeebo,
You're the mascot.
Squeebo.
Unpredictable mascot.
Squeebo, clean!" And it, floats, not floats, but like kind of
Slides.
Yeah, slides and wheels off in some direction where who knows what it's going to get up to.
Yep, this team's very weird. But that's good. We can use that.
Huh.
I don't think we should take Squeebo on missions, though.
Definitely not. I mean, I guess he'll be on the ship, so, if it's a space mission, we kind of have to, but,
Sure.
Squeebo can stay and keep Herman company.
Excuse me?
What?
Who's
Squeebo
Herman?
can stay and keep Herman company.
What's, sorry, is Herman like a what?
Herman, he's the Tebok that was in the medbay.
Do I have any idea what a Tebok is?
Life science.
Nope.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, no, me neither. So you're telling me there's another creature on board?
Yes. He's
Is it
currently in my
sentient?
room. Well,
Or sapient.
most living creatures are sentient.
Is
you
it
know what I
gonna
mean.
eat me?
No, he's gonna eat me.
That is whatever you're into, buddy.
As long as we don't have to pay it, that's fine.
We will feed him.
Okay.
So it's like a pet?
Sort of. Amu shrugs.
So
Watching
I know
Amu
that
shrug
a
is-
lot of stuff was going on, but from here on out, let's run it by the team co-captains when we bring pets on board, okay?
Yes, please. Can I meet it though?
We didn't bring it on board, but yes.
Well, who brought it on board?
It was in the med bay.
Was it like a sample? Is it like an experiment?
You know what?
I hope not.
I bet
That'd
you it
be
was
me.
a trap from Talos. You might
See,
want to give it a good checkup there. Make sure it doesn't have any transceivers up its, cloaca or whatever it has.
Oh, we'll give Herman a good medical exam.
Oh, that's good.
All right, so the ship is now underway, flying off towards Akaton. So you guys have a little bit of time to interact with yourselves and or with each other rather, and get more situated. But I'm also fine skipping that if you would like to get closer to the action.
I don't think there's anything else that we particularly need to cover.
How about we do a real quick thing where everyone just says in like 3 words or less what they are like for the next 24 hours on the ship. Vangie.
She will try to meet this weird
3 words or
thing.
less.
Hmm?
I'm asking not what you do, not for a breakdown of every little thing. But like
Fine.
in 3 words or less, what are you like on the ship?
Sleeping, curious, sweaty.
Okay. Sleeping, curious, sweaty. Okay, great. Bob.
Piloting, labeling, maintenance.
Skritic.
Grumpy and hungry.
Being hungry. Nice. Hecubino.
Also mostly sleeping.
Mostly sleeping. Amu.
Examinations, concoctions, studying.
And Quentin.
Spheroid floating observer.
So some of you chose to like really throw yourself into the verbs of what you're doing. Some of you described yourself mostly geometrically, and others are sleeping.
Yes.
I
And
got
that,
spell
my
slots,
friends,
kids.
is the
I gotta get
critical
some
hit
sleep.
experience in a nutshell.
All right. Well, you are approaching Akaton when there is a Extreme Infosphere Productions beacon that you pass that shuts down your comms.
Internal comms as well?
No. Just external.
Everyone, it's Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Amu. External comms have been shut down. I think we are about to begin.
Great. Let me get
All
my
right.
makeup on.
All right, I'll gear up.
Yep.
So as
Time to
you
stretch.
begin to orbit the red planet of Akaton, despite your comms being recently jammed, you receive a comm signal. It's requesting a video feed, and it's coming from the planet's surface, though not from a source you recognize.
I'll turn it on and pipe it into everyone's view screens.
Okay. Anyone who wants can make a culture check.
Oh, boy.
To
Sure.
recognize what this is.
I'll
The
do
video
one.
feed cuts to a majestic chamber with very high vaulted ceilings with ambient green, pink, and blue light coming from floating spheres. In
That
the
is
background, there are massive supercomputers with complex abacus-like arrays of vibrating processors, which occasionally emit little mini lightning bolts to other parts of the computer. A contemplative seems to be hurriedly zipping between stations and typing into consoles or adjusting dials and switches. In the foreground, there is another contemplative, evidently the person who signaled you, and they are floating in a cylindrical tank filled with transparent pink goo. Now let's go through these culture checks. Quentin, that's not very good. Hecubino, also not great. Vangie, no. Okay, it's looking like... Amu, was that a 17 for you?
That is a 17 for Hamu.
So it's looking like Amu recognizes this, and nobody else does. This video feed, you can tell by the majestic chamber that it is the Halls of Reason, which is the center of contemplative society on Akaton.
Ooh. Are we going to go visit the Halls of Reason?
And the contemplative in the foreground in that goo tank says, "Well, hello there, Starfarers, or should I say, drifters. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Beth, and in the background there is Sven. I believe you all know our son."
Who's your son?
Talos?
Yes, sirree, Bob. That's your name, right, Mr. Pilot?
My name's Bob.
Oh, yes. Our boy Talos has told us all about you. He calls us every week, don't you know?
That's nice.
Yeah. We had him on the ship just recently.
Yeah. He said he's got a bit of an enmity with you. Is that right?
I mean, it's developing into a little rivalry, maybe.
Oh, yes. Well, he always did have an inferiority complex, our youngest one. Just because his siblings all became neurobiochemists, theoretical planar physicists, and masters of secret esoteric orders, unlocking the purpose of existence, he still wants to carve out his role in the world. So he chose racing little starships and land vehicles. Vroom!
Brain envy?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I suppose you could say that. I do have a tendency to go on flapping my jaw. Not really, because it's more of a sonic emanation from my parietal lobe.
Right.
But anyway, yes, our boy Talos, he went and he got that back alley brain surgery that you hear about on the news. One of the magical tadpoles that fuses to your brainstem if the surgeon knows what they're doing and has the best equipment. But he hasn't been the same since. So angry and obsessed with gaining power to destroy everyone who's ever slighted him. It's a sickness, and we're trying to get him help. But of course, he needs to consent to have the reversal. So I'm asking you all for a favor, as you're something like the closest he has to friends. Can you keep him alive throughout the races? I'm not saying letting him win or anything. I could never ask you that. But look out for our boy.
Well,
okay,
ma'am,
so-
do you know, I mean, with this whole surgery psychic thing, I mean, is there a way that we could maybe help subdue him without hurting him too much?
We're a surgeon.
Oh, yes. Subdual. That's totally fine. He deserves it, I'd say.
So, not to be crass, I guess, but although I personally like him a lot already, unfortunately, we are professionals trying to get through a gauntlet of death and danger. So we are probably going to need some sort of at least monetary incentive to carry this out. Again, personally, I'd do it, but we got a crew, we got expenses.
A lot of expenses.
So doing a mother a favor and saving her son, who she's trying to help get the help he needs, isn't enough for you?
I mean, unfortunately, your son did kind of mess up our ship and cost us some missiles in the process.
I'm just joshing you. No, we've got plenty of resources. We can send some credits your way.
That would be appreciated, ma'am.
It'll be less than we spent on that
Minnesota.
device of his, that vehicle he's taken down to the planet. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what model is that? Do you remember?
Oh, I can't tell you that. You know better.
Yeah, it was worth
But
a
I
shot.
will say it's big and silver.
Oh, okay. So,
So
Kevin,
he's on
I
Team
don't-
Brain Power then?
Oh, yes. I thought you knew.
Well, we knew there was a team called Brain Power that had a contemplative on it. I didn't really draw the connection, but
yeah, if I didn't know any better, I would say that given the roll call that we got from those guys, they're just literally all the guys that we looked over.
Yep, you're right. You're right.
Which is gonna be rough next time that guy starts to molt.
Oh yeah. I think it's still molting. That was the whole point. It was going to take a while. Also, what a shame that Sharon was really cool.
Well, maybe
yeah.
Lucky to have her.
Our boy Talos, he keeps a couple of tricks up his sleeve. I think he's psychically prevented the molting process from happening on his teammate.
Oh, that would make
Wow.
sense because otherwise the two of them wouldn't work together. All right.
that can't
all
be
right.
healthy. Hey, Amu, you want a project?
No, that's not healthy at all. Like I said, he's powered only by anger and the quest for more power. It's not healthy. Not for Talos, and certainly not for the Trox.
Right. Okay. So, Kevin, I don't know what would be a reasonable amount of credits to charge for looking out for someone in the middle of a death race. But
Oh,
presumably,
they have a
Hecubino
table
might
for
have an
that.
idea.
You can just look that up in Starfighter. That's a well-known thing.
Yeah.
It's a service. Like ship repairs, bodyguarding during death race.
So to give you guys some sort of frame of reference, the difference in, what if you guys each got, say, 1,000 credits, you would, or maybe 1,000, 1,500, something like that, you would be able to afford to keep living and get the upgrades that you think are necessary, like the ones that you've been keeping your eye out for and looking for a sale and then realizing you're nowhere close to affording it. The next best tools or weapons or armor, something like 1,000 to 1,500 per person, and that's across your little adventuring, at least for the next foreseeable milestone.
Okay. So asking for 5,000 to what, 7,000 would be reasonable?
Sure.
Okay. Well, we'll negotiate that.
Yeah, there's 6 of us. I would say 6 to 9,000.
Oh, that's right. There's 6 of us. I keep forgetting that. So yeah.
There's a lot more than
We'll
6
start
of
high.
us.
We'll start with 10,000 and see if they go for it.
There's 1,570,000 and 6 of us.
So what do you say, Hecubino?
Be like, I think given the fact that we're not going to be able to know the course, we don't know what else we're facing, and that quite honestly, your power-hungry son is going to be gunning for us. When you count in our ammo, repairs, like wear and tear on our vehicles, and the fact that we might have to replace one of our crew, honestly, at the end of all this, I'd say maybe we can go with 10,000 credits.
Oh, now see, I can tell that you're aiming a bit high there, but why don't you make a diplomacy check?
Okay. Diplomacy, it's my least good social stat.
I'll let you make a bluff check if you prefer.
Mine too.
If you're trying to get away with something.
I already rolled diplomacy for 20.
Well, I can tell you're aiming a bit on the high side, but there are a lot of these same expenses that Talos tells us about all the time. 10,000 credits. I don't suppose you do it for 7,500.
We'd consider it for 9,500, and we'd be willing to throw in our personal surgeon having a look at him, assuming that we manage to grab him and subdue him.
How about we call it an even 9,000 then?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Well, thanks so much. Honestly, he turns more of my lobes grays than all my other children, but he's kind of my favorite.
Aw. A gray love's
He
a bad
floats
thing.
about in the tank.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get him less homicidal by the time we're done.
Oh, I wouldn't go doing the brain surgery yourselves. No.
No.
Not unless you're experts at that.
Oh, no. I mean, like, done
At
turning him over
the
to
end
you.
of everything.
Yeah.
Yes. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, you're doing a mother a favor, and I don't see what he gets out of the whole drifters thing. Is it like a cult? You're all his peers. What do you get out of it?
Money.
Mostly money. Yeah, fame.
We get to see multiple cultures and learn about various other entities.
But mostly money.
Excitement.
Do you get to develop new types of theoretical equations or solve problems like quantum sprites interfering with drift drives?
I'm working on my emotions.
In all honesty, I'm not nearly so smart as all that.
No, we don't really do that, but we try very hard to rise above all of our hugely underdeveloped stations. What I'm saying is most of us are really poor and grew up in like bad situations. So this is a way out.
Oh, that's very relatable.
Is it? I write it down.
Becky just like nods.
On a you would think private channel, Grace goes, you should all know that they've hacked our comms.
I know.
What did Talos' mom give us or dad give us a name?
She said her name was Beth, and that
It's Beth and Sven.
Beth and Sven.
Right.
That's right.
I remember because those names are great.
Okay.
Fargo. Contemplative edition.
As is the accent.
Okay. Are we done now?
Oh yes, thank you so much. And yeah, I'll be in contact. Especially if our boy is okay and you get him. All right. Well, good luck with the drifting and the racing, and you just have a good time then.
Please transfer the credits and then get off of our comm system.
Easy.
Oh yeah, you still use the standard multiphasic encryption, which is well known to have interdimensional limitations if you can calculate tesseract honeycomb tessellations on the fly. She snorts in the tank.
I have no idea what any of that means.
Okay then. It
Honeycomb
was
is
real
made
nice
by multiple
talking
insects.
to you all.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. She hangs up.
Was that a good joke or not a good joke?
I
was
thought
not
it
a
was
good
pretty
joke.
good.
So my laughter was appropriate?
For the first second or so, yeah.
Okay. Grace, can we figure out a way to keep them from getting back on our systems that easy again?
I can work on it. I could probably prevent that specific thing from happening again, but I will say that their technology was quite advanced.
Yeah, and this is again super their home turf. If they can, they probably whatever the jamming is going through.
Yeah,
They
honestly,
know what it is.
they probably created the infrastructure for it.
So wouldn't
Relative
necessarily
to
spend the
Talos,
resources.
they were substantially more proficient. Much more.
Okay. Did they transfer the monies at least?
Well, I think you guys agreed to save him. Not gonna get
Yeah, I
money
think
upfront.
we have to actually keep him alive, and then they'll pay us.
We didn't ask for money up front? Oh. You know they're going to screw us over.
Oh,
Well,
she seemed really nice.
if they screw us over, then we can probably work it in some other way. Hey, listen, man, this is show business. You gotta wheel and deal. You gotta put your good face forward.
I mean, if nothing else, we have his son if they, don't pay up.
Yeah, exactly.
I also have a complete recording of the conversation, which could make its way into an episode.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good side plot.
Well, we'll see how they come through. Maybe we throw in anonymity as an additional bonus.
Yeah.
And with that, you receive one more signal. This one, though, is coming from Extreme Productions, and it is telling you where to land. As you begin your final approach to the red planet of Akaton and your first race as drifters.
Well, you're going to have to come back next week to find out how that race goes, because that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you, everybody, for downloading and checking us out. We'll be back next time. And until then, here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2020 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.
This podcast is sponsored by IQ Bar. I've got good news and bad news. Here's the bad news. Most protein bars are packed with sugar and unpronounceable ingredients. The good news? There's a better option. I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar plant protein bars to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. IQ bars are packed with 12 grams of protein, brain nutrients like magnesium and lion's mane, and zero weird stuff. And right now, you can get 20% off all IQ Bar products, plus free shipping. Try our delicious IQ Bar sampler pack with 7 plant protein bars, 4 hydration mixes, and 4 enhanced coffee sticks. Clean ingredients, amazing taste, and you'll love how you feel. Refuel smarter, hydrate harder, caffeinate larger with IQ Bar.
Go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. Again, go to eatiqbar.com and enter code BAR20.
Omaha Steaks makes it easy to keep great food on hand, so dinner time is simple and convenient. And right now, you can get 12 free burgers and free shipping for life when you shop at omahasteaks.com/onrepeat. Only Omaha Steaks gives you the freedom to set your menu your way with no commitments. Choose extra-aged, hand-carved steaks, plump and juicy air-chilled chicken, and so much more. Order once or set up recurring shipments for more savings, more convenience, and inflation-proof pricing. Want to change your menu? No problem. Swap items, skip a shipment, or cancel at any time with no questions asked. You're in control to get what you want when you want it, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. At Omaha Steaks, it's all about you. Visit omahasteaks.com/onrepeat to sign up for recurring shipments and get 12 free burgers, a $431 per year value, and free shipping for life. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details.